Today we welcome the guys from Forest Falls to australianmusician.com.au, John and Gabe.
Thank you.
We're at backstage at the Workers Club where you guys are doing a residency.
Yeah, that's right.
The benefits of doing a residency as opposed to a gig here and there.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I guess the point of doing the residency was just to try and get our name out there a little bit more, as opposed to just doing one particular show where everybody came. We kind of get to play with numerous bands on the residency. So what we've tried to do is get different bands on the lineup, so we can get a little culture happening there.
Yeah.
But then also play to different audiences as well. So
Yeah.
I think it's really an idea.
Yeah, totally, and it's awesome for ironing out other things, and sort of using it as a, the Wednesday nights aren't always massive. Like, we were lucky to have quite a few people last time, and hopefully again tonight. We've got 2 more shows, but it's also good to iron out the creases before you sort of take the show on the road, I guess, because we've got a few other shows up in Sydney and Bondi, which we're really excited for.
So your musical journey, John, brought you to this band. Were there other bands before?
Yeah, there was. So I used to be in another band. I guess we should backpedal a little bit. I was originally from Perth, and when I was in Perth, I played in some bands. One of them was called Streetlight, and we had a few different entities. Went from being hardcore to rock to then atmospheric at one point, and then then it kind of just dissipated, and I thought, no, look, I really love music, and there's something about it that I find that has some healing qualities, and I just, it's a part of me. So I thought, no, I'm gonna go over, go over to Melbourne and just try my best at delving deep into my thoughts as a musician as well, just getting inside my head and meeting some brilliant people, like meeting Gabe and the rest of the band is just phenomenal. So yeah, I guess that's kind of how it started. It's, 6 degrees of separation. Meeting Jamie first. Jamie knew Jeremy, and Jeremy knew Gabe. Gabe knew Sean knew Lucy. So it was kind of come together quite nicely.
Yeah. So harmonies are such a big part of this band.
Yeah.
When was the first time that you actually remember backing harmonies having an effect on you?
Oh, I think that would be the first time my mum played Simon & Garfunkel.
Okay.
Or even the Mamas and the Puffers. They've got brilliant harmonies. Yeah, and I guess for me, that nostalgic feeling really still holds dear to my heart. So I try and bring that into the band as much as possible.
I think there's something really magical about hearing a harmony too. Like, even before you sort of learn to do it and pick it apart and figure out the intervals and all the other things that go on to make different sounds. When you first hear it, even someone who's not particularly maybe in love with music or keen on trying to recreate that kind of sound, it's something really otherworldly. It almost doesn't make sense hearing the two voices sort of meld together and just create something else.
So did you grow up on that sort of thing, listening to harmony?
Well, I was one of the ones that sort of was a bit late to the party. Like, luckily, John's had, sort of stormed ahead and really perfected his voice to the point where it sounds really, really great. And he has written many really great harmonies for the rest of the band, and we're sort of trying to keep up. Learning how to recreate the harmonies and ways to write them into new songs and stuff. So it's been really fun sort of growing, I guess, and figuring it out as I go.
But because that aspect of the band is developing, and the harmonies are becoming more complex, do you find you're writing differently than you used to because of that?
I think so, definitely. Not only because we're just evolving, in terms of musicians, but also instrumentally as well. I mean, as a band graduates, you kind of get to know each other a bit more. You get to know what each band member can and also what you can't do. And I find that what you can't do is a strength, and shouldn't be misled, I guess. And I guess when we can't come together, I try really hard to try and get everybody together as a group, and even with harmonies as well.
I'll jump in. Yeah, John's actually brilliant at. It's gotten to the point where we've gotten to know each other musically and as well as good friends, but it's got to the point where we almost have our sort of key spots, like vocally, like our range and stuff. So John will be writing something, and if he knows it's between this particular range, he sort of handles it to the right person, and we sort of know roughly where we're going to sit. So we've created this identity, and the ball just keeps rolling, I guess.
You've just released your second EP, Hounds.
Yeah.
What do you learn each time you go into the studio that you carry on into the next EP?
That's a really good question. I mean, I feel like we're again, it's kind of goes back to instrumentally, like, not only are we still getting to know each other on a personal level, because we don't live together, we don't really see each other as much as, or see each other's faults as much as we'd like to.
When we're in the recording phase, it's all just like completely full on. It's like that is pretty much all that's going on. So we're all stepping on each other's toes and figuring it all out.
Yeah, and I guess like if you're talking about like the Julia EP to the Hounds EP as well, like we're learning different things, and I think that also came from having somebody like working with Wayne Connolly.
Yeah.
Like he, I guess, made us feel like it's okay to do things a little differently and bring in different instruments, and do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, for sure. Wayne was brilliant. He sort of nurtured us through any sort of obstacle we came across, whether it be writing the songs and making particular tweaks or suggesting different instruments or whatever, as John was saying. I think having him too was a massive part, because John, I'll do a bit of bragging for you, John's a solid audio technician as well, audio engineer, and has a whole bunch of gear at his place to the point where it's pretty much an entire room is devoted to a studio. And in previous times with the Julia EP especially, John sort of had to jump from position to position. He'd be audio technician 1 second and then recording his vocals another second and juggling back and forth, and the rest of us could sort of hit record here and there when we were told to, but otherwise, John probably was juggling more than was, ideal, I guess, for someone trying to be creative. So having Wayne there made it a lot easier, I think.
Yeah, and I think also, like, you're your own worst critic all the time, right? So, I mean, like, for instance, if I'm recording my vocals, I'm hearing them back, and I'm like, ooh, I can do better. And like, there might be like a little gem in that recording that I did the first time that wasn't like perfect, but it was that part that makes everybody go, that was lovely. And I might overlook that because I'm thinking about the best vocal take or something, and that's what Wayne Connolly was amazing at doing. Like, he'd be like, that's the one, John, or that's the one, Gabe, or that guitar lick is amazing. And like, for example, with Thieves, which is the last track on the EP, like, we wrote that chorus on the fly. Like, previously it was non-existent, and Wayne was like, this needs a chorus. Like, but
we thought we had a chorus.
And he was like, no, it needs a chorus. So like,
it's funny when Wayne Connolly makes a suggestion too. He's very very subtle and very unassuming, and just sort of throws it out there. And you can sort of, I don't know, you forget who you're talking to sometimes, and then you sort of glance around the room and you'll notice like an aria propping the door open, an aria on the windowsill, an aria, as a paperweight or whatever, so you just sort of...
Maybe I should listen.
I think there was one point I distinctly remember, Jamie was like, oh, I don't know about that, Wayne, and I just remember Wayne just going...
just gesturing towards the arias,